Hello, and welcome back to the messy office. The seeds from those squash that I recently processed, I roasted them. Basically, you take them, you boil them for a while. You put them in salt water. Now, I put a handful of sea salt in about a quart pot. I think I should have put 2 handfuls in there. Now I got 5 cups of seeds put in the pot, and then filled the pot up almost to the top with water, and put in a handful of salt and mixed it up. I boiled them. I really didn't take note of how long I boiled them for. I took them out, I dried them off, coated them in oil and spices. Just your favorite spices, of course. Then I roasted them at 350 in the oven for 45 minutes. Turned out perfect. I didn't video it because this was my first time and I really didn't know what I was doing. I did watch some videos and read some up online, but I really didn't know what to expect. So next time I do this, if you want me to make a video of roasting these, let me know in the comments. Can't eat these like you can with popcorn as much because they have that coating on the outside, the seed coat, that is pretty much pure fiber. So if you eat very many, you're going to fill up pretty quick. However, you don't have to do that. I'm going to put that back to the side. Because if you're growing your own, I've got my order here from Incredible Seeds. You've seen the trees, my tree seeds from the last video where I was starting doing the stratification. So you know the tree seeds I got from them. Incredible Seeds as a pumpkin. It's a heirloom pumpkin. It's called Kaki, K-A-K-A-I, and it has hulless seeds. There's just the seed inside. It doesn't have that hard coating over the seed. So 100 days, Kaki is the one you're looking for edible pumpkin seeds. Green seeds are hulless and ready to eat right out of the fruit. Fantastic, raw or roasted. So I'm going to see what this looks like. I did have more of a write-up of this. Okay, I had to switch over to Johnny Selected Seeds here. Hulless seeds for snacking. Eye-catching, medium, small, black striped pumpkins. After displaying the pumpkins in the fall, you can scoop out the large, dark green hulless seeds, which are delicious roasted. The seeds also yield a savory oil. And that's one of the other things I'm interested in, trying to figure out how I can make my own seed oils for cooking. Now this savory, that means it has its own taste. So you'll have a pumpkin taste and whatever you use this oil for. Of course, the taste of the pumpkin would have to go with your recipe. Semi-bush short vine plants. The average weight of a pumpkin is 5 to 8 pounds. So they don't say anything about what the flesh tastes like, but it's the seeds I'm going for, so I'm really excited about this pumpkin for next year. I have another pumpkin called Long Island Cheese. It's kind of a flattened shaped pumpkin that looks like the old-fashioned cheese wheel, hence the name Long Island Cheese. 110 days, it's a sea muscata. I don't have many of those because the Kaki is a sea peppo. This is a sea muscata, so it's a different species altogether. I can grow these two side by side. So like I said, 110 days. The Long Island Cheese Pumpkin is a beautiful old-time heirloom that is reminiscent of a traditional cheese wheel. The flesh is deep orange. Fruits are 5 to 10 pounds and each plant yields 2 to 3 squash. There's 10 seeds in here. So if I do 10 plants, of course, that's a lot of squash. If I got 2 squash, that's 20 squash. At the very minimum, it's 100 pounds. Chardale. This is another C. maxima. It's got a blue skin, so it's similar to that Queensland blue that I have, but it's much bigger. So another 110 days, a C. maxima, 110 days heirloom pumpkin seeds. An Australian heirloom have fruit that are light blue, deeply ribbed, and shaped like the Cinderella pumpkins. Now, speaking of that, people believe you can't save seeds from hybrid varieties. This pumpkin, it was a cross between Blue Hubbard and the Cinderella. And then they bred it out. So you just crossed the 2 plants, got the hybrid, and then bred out the new set of genetics that they wanted from the 2 different initial ancestor varieties. The golden flesh is mild with sweetness. It has been called one of the best for pumpkin pies. Now I can go over and see what the Cinderella said. The Cinderella seeds, you see, it's got that flattened shape, same as this one, but it's not as deeply ribbed. That's 105 days. It comes from France. I may try this one next year, I don't know. So while they didn't give you a size for this one, the Cinderella produces medium-sized vines with delicious 20-pound pumpkins. And the other one was Blue Hubbard. Blue Hubbard looks quite different in shape, but that's where the color comes from. And it once again gives squash 10 to 20 pounds. So this is what we're expecting from this one, would be about 10 to 20 pounds squash. Honestly, I just got this for the fun of it. Because what am I going to do with a 100-pound pumpkin? Big Macs it's called. Now the thing is, of course you may know about the Dill's Atlantic Giant. Is the record holder, and it gives like 1,000-pound squash or something, which is grown for the size, not the taste. This one, however, 120 days, the same as the Dill's Atlantic Giant. Big Mac's pumpkins are huge while still remaining edible. In fact, these pumpkins regularly top 100 pounds, so they can go over 100 pounds per pumpkin. And are delicious for pies. Great pie pumpkin. The flesh under the bright orange skin can be 4 inches thick. That's a lot of pumpkin. For the biggest pumpkins, allow only 1 per vine. And I'll probably do that because, like I say, what are you going to do with a 100-pound pumpkin, right? I'm just growing it for my own interest and enjoyment, but also to show that it can be done here in Newfoundland. So it is a open pollinated variety. So it's a little bit newer, but still stable. I'm going to give these another try. Actually, I like them. Waltham Butternut. The last time I grew these, they didn't give me any seeds. And the trouble I have, and I mentioned it before, is that there's very little developed to grow in my area. So I have to have a seed stock of things that I found that would grow. So anything that grows that I can bring out to a mature seed, then I'm going to save the seeds. And there are so many squash that if I got a squash and it's not giving me seeds, then why would I bother to continue buying the same seeds over and over when I can go on and try other squash that will give me seeds. However, it's a more popular one. The Waltham Butternut Heirloom Squash is a huge producer of light tan oblong fruit. The bright orange flesh tastes fantastic after a couple of months in storage. making this variety perfect for winter keeping. The ever-expanding vines are vigorous and constantly producing, which is another reason why you would grow these, right? You've got a winter squash that produces like the summer squash does. They can just, if you've got the warm weather, they'll keep on going. I tried these last year, but they sound so good. The seedlings that I got last year, they didn't make it, and I wanted to try again. They're only 80 days. That's another sea pepper variety. Last year I had delicata squash, but this is a bush type variety, so for that matter I can grow them in a pot. If you love delicata squash but don't have the space for the sprawling tangle of vines, this is the plant for you. Ideal for patios and community garden pots, this bushy version of the classic delicata grows to 4 to 6 feet, so that's a spread of the plant, and as productive as ever. If you've never tried delicata squash, they are smooth, sweet, and when roasted, the rind is tender enough to eat. So you can just slice them up and roast them like you've seen when I was doing the puree. But you don't have to skin them. If you want to eat them right away, you can eat them rind and all. This bushy variety was selected by Molly John and George Moriarty of Cornell University. So it was developed down at Cornell University. Now here's an ugly thing. Isn't that downright ugly? It is another moschatta, so that's one of the reasons why I got it. I don't have any moschattas. There was another one that I decided that I wasn't really interested in it. 105 days to maturity, so I should be able to get a pumpkin or two out of it. The description is a very nutty heirloom Japanese squash. So it might have the same deepness of flavor that like the butternut would, right? Black futsu are insect resistant and produce small to medium sized flat deeply ribbed fruit. So this is perfect for what I would want. A small fruit, insect resistant, and it seems like it would have a stronger butternut type flavor. We shall see once I get a pumpkin, of course. Starting off dark green, almost black, their skin transforms to a milky tan color as they mature. It might look nicer when they're as a milky tan. The bumpy topography on black future squash can have any gardener daydreaming about their old and weathered path. So not the nicest looking thing in the garden, but I think they'll taste very good, and like I said, they're insect resistant. Here's a nice thing. Kanamaichi turnip seeds. Brassica rapa, same as most of any other turnip, and the rutabaga, same thing. 25 to 45 days maturity. You can get turnip to grow just as fast as the radish. What I found out is that they are better when they're picked smaller, but up to 45 days they're best. If you let them overgrow, then their taste starts to wane. Also, this is a good one for, say, the prairies, where you have this little short spring, because you get the hot weather, they're going to go bitter, I would assume. Kanamichi turnips love the cool weather. A great crop to grow in the spring and fall, which is another thing. I don't know how many seeds are in here, but maybe when I take up the garlic, I can plant these right away. These Japanese turnip are tender and have a smooth white flesh. They are a great alternative to radishes, both raw or cooked, with a sweeter flavor. Kanamichi turnips are also delicious pickled. So keep your eye on these fast growers and pickle them for a future treat. I was watching Incredible Homestead, Kevin, and he said he liked them in salads. National Pickling Cucumber. They grow fairly well here. And I think it was that one that a few years back, this was before the stupid weather we were getting like half the precipitation that we usually got started back in 2019. But a couple of years prior to that, and prior to me starting a YouTube channel, I had some cucumbers planted underneath a snowball bush, and they produced like crazy. I had a couple dozen bottles of pickles I made. Plus, I ate some of them fresh, right? 52 days, heirloom cucumber seeds from 1924. An heirloom cucumber that takes care of all your needs. National Pickling Heirloom Cucumbers produces bushels of short, thick cukes that are perfect for pickling. If left to mature on the vine a little longer, they are also great for fresh slicing. These plants are very vigorous and highly productive. As I said, yeah, I found that out. I'm going to have some yellow beets this year. Golden Detroit. I'm hoping that they are coming along similar to the Detroit Dark Red, being that they were developed in the same area. But they are basically a gold yellow color inside. 55 days, which is what most beets are. Heirloom beet seeds. Golden Detroit heirloom beets have a beautiful yellow interior with a golden orange skin. These beets are sweet and their tops are excellent for greens. The roots remain golden when cooked, which is nice. In our opinion, these are the best golden beets available. That's Incredible Seeds' opinion. So we shall be trying golden beets next year. Or actually, this year now, isn't it? I've got one variety of broccoli to give me a good head, and that is Romanesco. Romanesco broccoli, one year I got a really beautiful head of broccoli off it, and I haven't been successful, as you know, with the other cabbage and broccoli and that as of yet. 75 days to maturity. They come from Italy. Romanesco broccoli, also called Romanesco cauliflower, is an absolute stunner, both in the garden and in the kitchen. Their spiraling florets are a mesmerizing soft lime green, unlike anything else in your garden. Romanesco dates back to the 16th century in Italy. Be sure to give these beauties lots of space, as their plants can grow up to 3 feet in diameter. So, I don't know if I'll put them in the garden, or I do have some ideal pots that I can put them. I'll decide. This is something I'm going to try to grow in pots. I have other pepper seeds, but this is a paprika pepper, so I can dry them and make my own paprika powder. So 80 days to maturity heirloom. Alma paprika peppers come to us from Hungary. These are very thick-walled paprika peppers, ripening from yellow to red. The sweet fruit are slightly hot and very full of flavor. Overall, a very interesting and enjoyable variety. So I should have about 15 seeds here. So what I'm planning on doing with the peppers, this, and you remember the Shiitake ghost pepper, I have that on some videos. I put that out in the garden come July, and then when the weather got down cool around the middle of September or something, I brought it back in to the sunroom and let whatever fruit was on it ripen up, and I got a lot of fruit off that. Because this is what I plan on doing this year. Get some pepper plants growing in pots and just move the pots out into the garden come July and let them grow through. Because the biggest thing I had with peppers actually is hand pollinating them. I couldn't get them to take when I tried to do the hand pollination. So I put them outside, then the insects will do their thing, right? And hopefully this year I'll get a lot of peppers. Onions. Elsa Craig and Kelsey. They are beautiful onions. They grow big. They have a milder taste. And if you want a white onion to put in salad on your burger or something, some fresh eating onion, those are two to go for. I have some Walla Walla seeds. I don't think they're going to do much here. I'm going to try them. But the Elsa Craig and the Kelsey, they done just fine here. Both are 110 days to maturity. And like I said, a very beautiful onion for fresh eating. However, they don't keep as well. You can keep them for a few months if you keep them at refrigerator temperatures. But they're not a keeping onion. And I tried to make onion powder. And you fill out the tray on the dehydrator and they shrink away to almost nothing. And then they didn't make a good powder. For that, we need the more storage onion. They are a stronger onion, but they have less water in them. Rosa di Milano, that's the red one I grew last year, and I have two left out there to hopefully give me a seeds this coming year. New York Early, I tried these a couple years ago, but I was doing other experiments, and that is I planted them in among some other plant, and they just didn't do well at all. So I'm going to plant them in full sun this year. Ortega Cepelino, that's the white storage onion that I had out there last year. I didn't get many from them, those older seeds. That's why I bought the new set. So the seeds that I had for these last year, they wasn't very viable. They were like a couple years old or something, and maybe that's the reason. So I bought a new set. So I have 3 packs of storage onion seeds for this year, but I still will be growing those other 2 varieties because I love them so much. And you just say you can put them in tighter together, and then when they start to bulb up, take out every second one, and you have this big long space of harvesting these really sweet, delicious onions. So that's the advantage to Kelsey and Alyssa Craig. What's my excitement for this year for what I'm going to grow? This paprika pepper is actually an exciting thing, but the peppers entirely, I've been trying to figure out how to get them to grow over the last few years. And I decided on that idea, remembering that I had put the Shintaka Ghost out and it done very well. So I'm going to try that with several varieties of peppers. So the peppers in general and the paprika pepper especially, I'm excited about for this year. Golden Detroit beets. I was told that these are very delicious by a local gardener, and so that is another exciting thing. I have my red beets in storage now. I didn't pickle them. I just put them in soups, or I'll grate them up for a salad or something like that, right? Anyway you'd use carrots, I'm using the beets. And these sound like they'd be even better for that. Of course, the khaki pumpkin is excitement because I'm going to get both, well, seeds that I can do anything with, right? I hope to get quite a few of those because I want to try getting the oil as well as the roasted seeds. Sugar beets, they need to be growing again this year. I'm going to be doing more molasses come fall. And I'm kind of debating on whether or not I should order some more varieties of potato. I do have the new one though, the Champion that I got from a local gardener. I have enough of that for a bed full of seed. I think maybe I should get at least one of the red ones so that I can tell you exactly, I know exactly what variety I got, because the red potatoes that I have right now, I don't know what variety they are. A mixture between Chieftain and Northern Reds. I have 7 varieties recorded in my records here that I want to try from Eagle Creek seed potatoes. Maybe I will do that. Anyway, that's the video that I have for you today. That's my seed order from Incredible Seeds, and a little bit of what I'm excited to get on to this year. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video.